made hot sauce. Hello, welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Caitlin. I run this channel and I share easy, delicious, and simple vegan recipes. But today we are exclusively talking tacos. That's right, I'm challenging myself to only eat tacos for an entire day. This video is also produced in collaboration with our friends over at Nasoya, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Right now we're gonna talk about these epic breakfast tacos that I just whipped up. I found these like chili infused tortillas at the store. That's why they look like they're a darker color. It's just from like a local tortilla company, and I am very excited to try them. I can't remember the last time I had a breakfast taco, and I regret that. It needs hot sauce. Other than that, the flavors are on point. I'm honestly very excited to eat tacos all day because I feel like they're very versatile and they're all gonna be delicious and they're all gonna be vegan. I used a store-bought vegan egg substitute, but you could also totally make these with tofu scramble using Nasoya tofu actually. I have a recipe on my blog, so I'll link that down below too. But I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of my breakfast tacos, and I'll see you guys at lunchtime. Alrighty, it's time for lunch. Obviously we're making tacos, but we're going to be making some barbecue sweet potato and tofu tacos with a lime cabbage sauce. So we got the crunchy, we got the tangy, we got the sweet, and we got our plant-based protein from our tofu. Nasoya is proudly sponsoring this video. I'm really happy to be working with them. Again, I love their products, and I'm going to be using their sweet barbecue tofu baked from their plant-inspired line in this recipe. I personally love this tofu because it's already pre-seasoned and it's pre-pressed too. So all you really need to do is slice it up, and you can throw it in a salad or on top of a grain bowl. You can obviously heat it up if you want to, like we're going to today. But the great thing about the plant-inspired products is that they are basically made to be enjoyed as is or after you heat them up really quickly. So definitely keep an eye out in the store for this and their entire line near you. They have a ton of different products. I will link their store locator below if you want to check it out. So I'm going to walk you through this recipe. If you prefer a more written version, check out the blog post below too. I will have it linked. But the great thing about this recipe is that you only need 10 ingredients to make it, but it's also super colorful, super flavorful, super wholesome, yummy, all that good stuff. So let's get right on into it. So the first thing we're going to do is work on our crispy barbecue filling. We're actually going to be using the air fryer for this recipe, but I got you covered if you just have an oven. Those instructions will be in the blog post. We'll start by adding our Nasoya sweet barbecue baked tofu into a bowl, and then we'll add a diced and peeled sweet potato too. This is a little large, so I didn't use all of the sweet potato, but you just want to dice it so it's about the same size as the cubed tofu so they cook evenly. Then we're going to top this mixture off with a little more barbecue sauce just so the sweet potato gets nice and coated and enhances that tofu flavor. And we're also going to add a pinch of cumin, some salt, and some oil, which is going to help it get a little bit more crispy and to help thin the barbecue sauce out, though you can skip it if you want. Once that's all nice and mixed, we're going to transfer it into an air fryer and bake it at around 375 for 20 minutes, taking the basket out every 5 minutes just to shake things up and make sure everything is getting nice and evenly cooked. So while that's baking away in the air fryer, we're going to get started on our lime cabbage slaw. We'll take half of a small head of red cabbage and slice it thinly into a bowl. I love to use a mandolin for this. Everything's nice and consistent. It's a lot faster too. Just be careful of your fingers. And then on top of that, we're going to add in some finely diced jalapeno. I kept some of my seeds in, so it's a little bit more spicy, but if you want it to be mild, just make sure you remove the seeds. And then we're going to top all of this off with the juice of 1 lime, plus some more cumin and some salt. The salt and the lime juice are going to combine to form a really nice marinade for the cabbage, which is going to cause it to release some juices and turn a really pretty bright pink color. So you're just going to mix this all up, and then you can stick it in the fridge so it's nice and cold while it's marinating and while our tofu bakes away. Now when you have about 5 minutes left on your sweet potatoes and tofu, you want to go ahead and start toasting your tortillas. Toasting your tortillas is key for getting a lovely corn tortilla flavor. It has some nice charred undertones, and it also just makes the tortilla a lot more pliable and malleable so it doesn't break in half when it's even slightly curved. If you have a gas cooktop, you can easily toast these over an open flame. That's my personal favorite way to do it, but I have an electric cooktop here, so actually I'm using a comal, which is a flat cast iron pan, and I just lightly greased it, and I'm using that to toast my tortillas on both sides until I get a nice pretty char. And then you can just wrap these in a towel and store them until they're ready to use. The towel will help retain some of the moisture and keep them nice and pliable. Once your sweet potatoes and tofu come out of the oven, if you want it to be extra saucy, I do today. So I am going to toss them in a little bit more barbecue sauce just so they get nice and juicy and glossy. Then we'll go ahead and transfer that to our tortillas, distribute them nice and evenly, get a nice hefty serving of plant-based protein and yummy sweet potato goodness in there. And then we'll top it off with our crunchy slaw that has marinated and turned beautiful colors. And then last but not least, for an extra pop of color, I like to top mine off with some cilantro. And you are all set to dig in and enjoy. I think it's time for a taste test. Gotta make sure I get a nice bite of that barbecue tofu and the slaw all together. This looks like a good quadrant. Honestly, I knew I was going to love like the sweet salty combo of the lime with the barbecue and like the hearty tofu, but it's exceeded my expectations, and my expectations were already pretty high. Just the flavor combination, and I'm really glad I added the cumin in there. I feel like it adds a sort of Tex-Mex element that sort of ties everything together. And it's not overly sweet, it's not overly tangy, it's like perfectly balanced, and I love how colorful and cute they are too. I mean, it looks great, but it tastes even better. Here, take one. I promise, it's delicious. Bon appetit. I am drinking a kombucha. Please don't get mad at me that it's not a taco. I did say eating, and this is drinking, so. So you know when you start to stare at a word or use a word so much that when you look at it, it starts to look odd? I'm kind of feeling that way about tacos right now. Like, what even is a taco? Is a burrito the same thing as a taco? It's just folded? Could a cookie folded in half count as a taco? That's a little meta, but I do think it's important that we acknowledge where things come from and practice cultural appreciation, not appropriation. So let's do a nice old Google search, tacos. What is the definition of a taco? Please tell me, dear Google. A taco is a traditional Mexican dish consisting of small hand-sized corn or wheat tortilla topped with a filling. The tortilla is then folded around the filling and eaten by hand. So I guess my cookie answer would not be traditional. I already knew tacos were traditionally Mexican food, and from my experience, I believe, you can correct me in the comments though, that in Mexico, traditionally you would use corn tortillas. That's like what you would find in most street food, and handmade, like you use the masa if you want to make tortillas. I do think that wheat tortillas or flour tortillas, which is what I think it meant, are more of a Tex-Mex thing. There's nothing wrong with flour tortillas. Personally, I love the flavor of corn, so I typically go with those. And I do think if you're being more traditional, you would, I would say, buy corn tortillas. But honestly, if you were being truly authentic, you would make your own with a tortilla press. I'm not at that level yet. Maybe someday. Oh, fun fact, the taco actually predates the arrival of the Spanish in Mexico. So it's actually an indigenous food. It's saying to the people of the lake region of the valley in Mexico. They were traditionally filled with small fish. Ah, yes, there's a whole section on hard shell tacos too. That is definitely a United States thing and not a Mexican thing. And Wikipedia confirms that. I don't really want to cook more tacos for dinner, so we are going out to eat. I thought this would be a great time to get some vegan Mexican tacos so we can experience more traditional tacos. So there's this really awesome food truck in Portland called La Taquiza Vegana. And one of the chefs is from Mexico. They recently started their business here, but my friend Anna is Mexican, and she said that they have amazing tacos. I've had them before. They are really great. So I thought it would be fun to show you guys. Also, I get to eat delicious tacos, and I don't have to make them. So that's where we're going to head right now. So I left my quaint little house, sat in some horrible city traffic, and then finally ended up at the taco cart. It's in this little food truck area, and their menu is really great. I got the taco plate, so I chose 3 different tacos, and it also came with rice and beans, which were also amazing. I could have just eaten the rice and beans, but we are here to eat tacos. So I end up getting the birria taco, which is like a saucy jackfruit taco. Then I also got a chorizo taco, which is smokier, and it was made with tempeh. And then I also had the al pastor taco, which is what I ate first, and you can see right here, it had some soy curls with pineapple, and I loved the sweet and salty combo. The handmade tortillas were also really delicious. Everything was so good, and if you're in the area, I recommend trying it. Oh yeah. Did you really think I was gonna eat tacos for an entire day and not make dessert tacos? These basically taste like a churro with vanilla ice cream. I use flour tortillas, vegan butter, sugar, cinnamon, and actually this is Cocoa Whip, not ice cream, because I thought I had ice cream, but I don't. But it still tastes really freaking delicious. Well, that concludes my day of eating tacos. Honestly, the only negative thing was that I usually eat a sweet breakfast, so it's kind of craving sweet food. The dessert hit the freaking spot, so that craving is no more. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more themed ones. Honestly, I've been wanting to do an only eating waffles for an entire day for like over a year now, and I don't know what's held me back from filming it because I just feel like that would, I don't know, could that beat tacos? It might. I guess I should try it, right? Okay, well, let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in watching that. Thank you again to Nasoya for sponsoring this video. Please check out their tofu. It's honestly the best tofu. It's tofu I use all the time for a wide variety of recipes, not just the tofu I use today. So they're awesome. Check them out. Check the blog post out if you want more info. And yeah, take care of yourself. Drink water. Eat tacos. Thanks for being around. You are loved. And I look forward to seeing you virtually in the next video. Bye.